Larry. Take a book. John, take a book, take a book. Michael, take a book. Put these books onto your heads now. Al, straighten up, Al.
What are you talking about?
We're practicing posture, Al. Straighten up. Put your book on the head.
I don't want to do this. This is dumb.
The door!
You've got your proper posture. Now, do you want to go up to be respectable?
Up straight.
Do you mind, Mr. Johnson?
Something? The door.
Here, put a book on your head. All right, now, you're all well balanced, are you? Good. Now, sit up, stand up straight.
Okay, but it's hard to read it this way.
You're not supposed to read it. You're supposed to gain good posture, Mr. Johnson.
The plants in France.
Straighten up! Straighten up! Straighten up!
Hi.
There. That's better.
Well, welcome to the show.
This is dumb.
Chin up.
No. Oh, I know why I'm doing this. I know why.
Feet! Look at the feet!
Ouch.
Look at the feet! Straighten the feet!
Straighten the feet? How do you mean
They should be lined up, toes to toes. There we
well, thank you for coming to the show. What? Kid, let's
stomach in, chest out.
Let me get on with the show. On the show today, I was just in the door to nowhere reading. This is a portfolio, and in this book are some of the most beautiful girls in the world who are never going to call me.
Let me see the book.
They would if you stood up straight.
They won't call you either. They are professional models.
How do you know?
And on the show today, we have from the Ford Modeling Agency in New York, Nancy Noonan, who's going to talk about modeling. Yes, she is here. And also, let me introduce Edward Thackeray III, who I guess is trying to get a job as a model. And
is that the
my old pal Al has been sent by the station to maintain law and order. And
is that the latest catalog from Ford Company?
It looks like
I want to see the new Ford.
Nobody will sit with you. These are not the new Fords as such. They are models, and they're all young
Model T.
lady models. Models. Just
cars.
No, they're not cars.
Oh.
Please say hello to the Something Else Orchestra, and let's see if they can play the theme without dropping the books on their heads. Because our first guest is from New York City, we decided to give you a chance in our studio audience. Okay, guys, you proved you can do it. You proved it. You did it. All right. You in our studio audience, first person up here to join me right here. First person to join me right here. Okay, would you deliver that? Would you go wake up the studio audience and ask...
Get up! Get up, all of you! Answer this crossword puzzle.
Okay, all you have to do is the New York Times crossword puzzle, and we will give you a T-shirt if you can do it before the end of the show. Here's the Something Else Orchestra on guitar, Larry Walker, on keyboards, John Noseworthy, and on the other guitar, we have Michael Dimitri. So, how's it going, Thackeray?
Things are not doing too badly.
Not too badly?
Class.
I think you could take the book off your head now, and I'm going to introduce our guest. So why don't you go to the door to nowhere, and I will get right to it and introduce...
Betchy drops the book. Betchy drops
our first guest, as I mentioned, is from the Ford Model Agency in New York, and her name is Nancy Noonan. Please welcome Nancy Noonan. How do you do?
Hi.
So nice to meet you. Have a seat.
Thank you.
Now, let's get right to the pictures here.
Okay.
Let's, first of all, this is a picture of a model.
Yes.
Now, this would be a Ford model.
Yes,
and a dog that looks like Rufus, but there's no relation. He is not related to this model. Now, how old would this young lady be?
In those pictures, about 15, 16. I think today she's 17. Those are from last year.
She's getting a little long in the tooth.
Yes.
17. Is that is there a good age for models now? Is it?
No, we like to develop them around 15, 16, 17, because they have to put about a year and a half into getting ready for the market. So by then you're up to 17, 18, so we like to start them young.
How do you get ready for the market? I mean, you're either you have it or you don't have it, don't you?
No, we do a nice test book for them, but then they have to travel with that book all over the world to get what we call tear sheets, magazine pages.
Now,
so those are photographs, and these are magazine pages. So that's
these are photographs of one model?
Yes, that we took in New York to get her ready to travel to Australia, to Milan, to Paris.
She's been to all those places?
She'll be in Milan and Paris this summer, but she's been to Australia with that book.
Now, how old is she?
She was 14 when we took those pictures last year, and now she's 15.
Are you doing things to make them look older?
No, no, actually the look is very natural now, as you can tell by those pictures. There's very little makeup. It's all done very naturally.
You were telling me that you have at the Ford agency in New York, a time of day when people can just show up
Yes.
off the street.
Yes, anyone can come in between 9:30 and 11:30, and an agent will sit with you and advise you and recommend what we would do with you and maybe take you.
9:30 and 11, you say?
Yes.
Have you discovered people that way?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Now, could an ugly person show up?
Anybody's welcome to come and get the advice.
Dan,
Okay,
we're not
a
importing
person.
you to go down there. You're
No,
staying here.
Al, I'm not, there's no intention that I would go to New York, but I think my question is, if a person shows up, and this person is extremely ugly, okay, now how do you break it to them? You say, sorry, there aren't any jobs for models now, or do you say, sorry, you're ugly and we'll never make it? Is there a polite way to break the news to them?
Yes, I think it is. It's a business, and we discuss their potential, and also there's such a thing as really having a camera love you. And we have a lot of models running in and out that you probably wouldn't guess were models.
Really?
Yes.
Well, let's discuss that some more when we return. And we will return with Nancy Noonan from the Ford Modeling Agency right after these messages.
Say the neon lights so bright on Broadway. They say there's always magic in the air. And when you're walking down the street, you may have
And thanks, band. They're doing New York songs just for you. They're trying to make you feel at home
thank
here
you.
in Funtown. Do you have to go to New York or L.A. to be discovered? If you want to be a model, is that the only thing to do?
No, there are 2 or 3 very good secondary markets: Chicago, Atlanta, Dallas, and Florida, the Florida-Miami area.
And of course, it's Funtown, of course.
And there's Funtown, which is well known for models. We have questions from our studio audience.
Okay.
First question.
How much does a model get paid?
Well, a model usually has an hourly rate and a day rate, but in the Manhattan market, it usually comes down to starting about $2,000 a day.
For one day?
Yes. It starts there and goes
11:30
upward.
to what?
Now, wait,
2,500, 3,000.
it just meant you show up for work and you go, and they say, here's $2,000?
Oh, it's a lot more to it than that. There's a lot of work in it.
Okay. Well, I could work hard for $2,000 a day. Not real hard, but semi-hard. Yes.
What's the youngest age you start at, usually?
Well, we have children models, but usually a child has to live in the city where they're modeling. So coming in from out of town, we start with 14 and 15-year-olds. But that's the adult market. They have to be about 5'9".
Yeah, so is tall in now?
Yes, well, starting about 5'9", they work up to 6 feet. So we'll take a girl when she hits 5'9", even if she's 14, 15, whenever she reaches the height. The height is more important when you're younger. Children models are usually small, so it doesn't transfer sometimes.
Can a children make $2,000 a day? A child? A children? A child?
No, I'm not that familiar
I'm
with the
just so
children's
excited
market.
over this talk of money that I'm
It's
losing
a little less
control.
than that for children. It's really the women's market is the high-paying market.
How much can a male model make?
It's in the same area as the women's
$2,000 a
make.
day?
Yeah.
Is it what are you looking for in male models? Are big noses in or out this year?
I think good character, good strong features are in.
Like chins? Chins important?
6 feet, sporty regular.
Oh, never mind. 6 feet.
Yeah, for the male.
6 feet.
For the
I only
male
have
division.
2 feet, so
Yeah.
and most of them are in my mouth most of the time. Next question from the studio audience.
How many models work for you a year?
There's probably about 250 listed with the agency during a year.
Would they all be working, or would some be just hanging around hoping that somebody
No,
calls?
they'll all be working, probably about 175 in New York, and the rest are scattered in different markets around the world.
How many show up at these sessions, these open sessions, who don't make it?
I would say every morning maybe we'd see 20, 25 girls come through.
Al and Thackeray have worked together long and hard. Many hours have gone into this.
That's an understatement.
They are not making $2,000 a day, and nor will they ever make $2,000 a day, but this is a tribute to all of the models in the world, and they are hoping that you will be impressed by this and take it back and share it with...
Would you hold my banana
All of-
when I do this, Dan? Please?
Did you buy this at a garage sale?
Yeah.
Here are Alan Thackeray with their tribute to all the beautiful girls in the world. It's
Are so beautiful.
You Are So Beautiful is what it's called.
To me, you are so beautiful.
That's right.
To me,
Can't you see? I know the words, Mac.
you're everything I hope for.
You're everything I need. Yours is really nice, and geez, maybe you'll become a model someday.
You are
is
so
beautiful. Thank you, thank you.
to me.
Take it away.
You are so beautiful
That's enough.
to me.
No, to me. You're beautiful to me. Not him.
You're everything I hope for. You're everything I need.
Yours everything I need, yeah.
You are so beautiful.
Yes, we know this is one of those magic moments in television that we just want to last forever. Unfortunately, we have to stop for a commercial, and we'll be right back.
So beautiful, Al. You're so beautiful, Al. Al, you're beautiful, Al. Oh, Al, you're beautiful. I'm beautiful too, Al.
I'm very beautiful. No, you ain't.
Model and also a model of sleepwear, maybe. I know many people wonder when you see a ship in a bottle, how do they do that? Well, I know we wondered, and we set out to find out. And we met a very talented man who puts ships in bottles. And his name is Ken Woods. And we're going to visit with Ken right now. And then we're going to have more chit-chat with Nancy Noonan. How can you be sure it's going to fit in the bottle? It's starting to look a little large to me now, and I don't think it's going to go through the...
Because every piece that I'm putting together now is small enough to put in the bottle.
So,
There's
see, it
the
won't
size
fit.
of it now.
Okay.
And if I take it apart again, you can see that this piece will go in the bottle. And I can put it in the place where it's supposed to go, and I can hold it with these things. These are surgical forceps that I've modified so that I can hold things and put them in the place that I want them, inside the bottle.
So you build it all outside, put it together, make sure it works, then you take it apart, and then you put it in the bottle?
That's right. I use these little pegs to make sure that the one piece matches up precisely to the next, so it'll snap into place properly. What I've done, in effect, is I've built 2 half models of this ship, and then I stick them together to make a whole model. Yes. And there's the ship.
How did this art form start?
As far as I know, sailors used to empty a bottle while they were at sea, and then they would build a ship model in it in order to sell it when they came ashore in a port, and they would get enough money to get a full bottle.
So that was in the days when milk was still bottled before it went into cartons.
Milk. Milk. I don't think it was milk they were looking for.
Oh, it wasn't. So why do you do it?
Just for enjoyment. I can show you the first one I ever did if you want to see it. It's pretty crude. The basic way to do it is not the way I'm doing it now. The whole ship is constructed with the masts hinged. and then they fold down like so, and they have threads attached to them. Everything goes in the neck of the bottle, and the threads that are sticking out are pulled so that it pulls the mask back up into place.
So what happens now if you get halfway through the model, you're halfway through building it in the bottle, and suddenly something breaks? Then what do you have to do?
I've had to actually destroy something that was half finished.
That must be frustrating.
It
You
is.
spend weeks on it and then
Oh,
have
yeah.
to throw it away?
Yeah.
Do some people cheat? Do they just cut the bottle, stick a ship in, glue
yeah.
the bottle back together and say, look what I did? That's how I would do it.
Yeah, I've seen models in stores where they'll take and with a glass cutting arrangement, they'll cut this section out of the bottle, and it goes in here, and then they stick that back on, and they put a piece of braided thing around here, and that's sold as a ship in a bottle. That's, to my mind, that's cheating.
Do you ever lose pieces? You get it all made and you're putting it together and suddenly there's a piece missing?
Yeah, lose pieces and then have to make a new one. This piece goes here. This is the bulkhead with the little doors in it, you see?
Mm-hmm.
That's where the fellows have to go in to go to their sleeping quarters.
Now, you do other things in bottles. You don't just do ships. You do little scenes and things, too.
Yes, sometimes. With some models, I'll make a little scene.
Are these valuable when they're finished?
I guess everything has a value. And everything's for sale if the price is right. But if you want to count hours and think of how much a man earns an hour, this would be worth thousands of dollars when I finish with it.
Have the Ford agency call him. Could you maybe give us reasons why Thackeray would not be a good model? Or would he be a good model?
Well, I think he might be a good model.
You think he might be?
Yeah,
You're so nice.
A lot of energy he has.
He does have a lot of energy. Is that him? Oh, no, now you've set him off. I'm going to lose my personal valet and announcer. He's going to jet off to New York. Okay, thank you, Thackeray. Are a lot of models in it just to sort of pave the way to an acting career? Is that what they're looking for?
I think they think that, but a lot of the girls start very young and they really don't think of the future that much. They think of the immediate, and I think a lot of them have always dreamt of being models.
Modeling school. Would it help if I went, even though I'm short?
No, I don't think so. I usually tell people when I see them just to send in a snapshot and something your mother took, and not to get involved with, you know, expensive portfolios or schools. If you have it in you, and we see you, will develop it if it's there. It's something you really can't learn.
Is it a talent, I mean, to model for the camera?
It's not a talent. It's something that the camera loves you or it doesn't. It's something the camera picks up. It's almost undefinable.
The pictures we looked at earlier, now this girl's only 14, and she's from Calgary.
Yes.
In Canada.
Yeah.
And, I mean, obviously she's on her way with all these pictures, is she?
Yes. Yes, when she went to Australia last summer, now she has quite a few Australian Vogue covers. And she'll be going to Paris this summer to replace all our tests with real magazine pictures. And then she'll come back to New York maybe January next year.
And she's only 14, and she's...
When those were taken, so she'll be 16, she'll probably leave school at that point. Some of the girls do that very young. They have tutors, or they go to the children's professional school, or finish their schooling later.
Now, isn't it a very short career?
Yes. That's why you really have to be sure, because you give up a lot. A lot of these girls give up their teenage years. They give up sports and school and friends. Almost like an athlete or someone that goes for the Olympics, just gives up everything and goes for it. So and only a few rise to the top, only a few get medals, so to speak.
It's not all glamour and excitement. It is a lot of hard work,
And it's very hard work.
Now, it must be discouraging for a model whether male or female, they get a book like this, and I guess you send them out, do you, to agencies looking for people?
Yes, we show their book in our agency to agents all over the world for them to make a stop there and try to get started.
So, but I mean, there must be some who just keep trying and never quite make it, or do they all make it?
No, very few make it. Very few make it. So they have to be prepared for that. We try to let them know that it's not a thing that comes easily, and very few rise to the top.
Now, can they reject assignments, or do they have to take assignments?
Oh,
or how
no,
does that
they
work?
can reject assignments if they want to, but they usually don't.
They don't.
No.
Al, are you finding this really fascinating?
Oh, that song really wiped me out, Stan, I tell you.
Oh, it was the song. I don't think Al is aspiring to be a model. I just
You know, I'm doing my relaxed little thing, you know, like the sleeping model beauty, whatever.
Oh,
you know?
the sleeping model beauty, yes.
You know, you give me a call, I'll be down in New York next flight.
So how many models now show up at your door and get discovered, or send you in a snapshot? Because it sounds, you make it sound fairly easy. Does it actually work that way?
If
Can
you're
they
the
be
right
discovered?
person and we see you, we will develop you, but very few actually, and percentage-wise, I would say it's way down in a low percentage. We may develop 50 or 60 girls, and maybe 20 become models, and maybe 5 during that year rise to the top of the profession. So it's a long shot.
Thank you for coming all the way here from New York to talk
You're
about
welcome.
modeling. And Thackeray, I assume we have a winner in the audience, so why don't you just give away the T-shirt to the
All the
lovely
spaces are filled. It
young
must be a
lady.
winner.
Okay, it must be a winner. And if Thackeray shows up on your doorstep, find him something to do, because you've encouraged him, and
I have a
it's
mind,
your
too.
responsibility.
I have a mind.
Okay.
Thank you and goodbye. Now we have to go to the door.
Tomorrow morning at 9:30 on Something Else, a woman who twirls ropes for a living, a tour on a glass-bottom boat, and a singer who thinks he's sexy. Could it really be Rod Stewart in person? That's all tomorrow at 9:30 on Something Else.